We would like to welcome you into today's broadcast here between Real Central New Jersey and Lighthouse SC. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We are now in the 20th minute, and Real Central remains ahead in this one. The difference maker so far today, Wawins Zador, Keegan.
Yes, one of the midfielders, Gerasimos, a fantastic play on their end. And that's just one of the things that Real Central can do to beat their opponents. A lot of speed to break into that attacking 18 and just pull it ahead. So good score from Wawins Zador, and it's kept Real Central ahead so far.
Again, you're tuned in to American Premier Soccer League action. Gerasimos Gervasilio alongside Keegan Thompson here at Mercer County Community College, the home of Real Central New Jersey, as Kevin Perez, the starter and keeper, sends one toward midfield. Here's the goal scorer, Zador, on the left wing. Looking to attack. Plays it inside. Now another pass near the 18. A shot blocked for now. Lots of traffic and cleared out wide.
That was a great convergence there by the defense. Ordinarily, you'd like to keep them out wider to plug up those lanes, but they knew that they needed to secure that ball and get it back down the field. And they're doing a really good job of condensing whenever they need to. They're keeping a very strong shape at the back. And ever since that Zador goal came in for Real Central, it's all been Lighthouse. They've had many more of the chances.
And a tug of the jersey is going to result in a Real Central kick. Some extra talk coming from Sean Mullally. Got to wonder what he's arguing for, but nevertheless, a free kick coming for Real Central. Maybe wanting a cart?
Perhaps. I mean, he was pulled for some time before the official stopped it, but that's the captain tonight for Real Central, and you would honestly like to see him in good spirits going ahead. Maybe a call and a talking to from the official would be warranted in a situation like that.
Still on the far side of Real Central. Real Central fourth right now in the Delaware River Conference, as another foul will give Real Central another kick.
That's on the sideline. Again, you know, Real Central's been doing a really good job playing on that tight rope between the in-touch line and otherwise. But yeah, that's a hard hit. It looks like he took a leg to his shin. We're struggling to see who that player is from this far away. And that's something Lighthouse Soccer Club needs to be a little bit careful about too, Gerasimos, because they've been playing a lot more physically against Real Central. And Real Central, it's been helping them keep the ball and move upfield. But when they keep giving up fouls like that, that's what's going to be the key for Real Central to capitalize on. And it looks like it was Zador who was down, Gerasimos.
Well, good to see him back on his feet.
Yeah, just gingerly touching that shin. Doesn't look like there's too much of a limp in his step either. So free kick pending for Real Central.
Yeah, numbers now going to be building for Real Central atop the 18.
Meanwhile, for Lighthouse SC, everyone is back except for their lone striker.
So a kick from the far side incoming. Here it is, a curler into the 18, headed out for now, still in the danger zone. A light clearance, and looks like Lighthouse will handle possession.
Good aerial touches. Obviously, it started with the header from the back line, but then the volleys consistently putting it up into the midfield, and Lighthouse SC doing a really good job using their height to their advantage here.
Possession won back by Sean Mullally. Here's Sotak. Now Andre Justin will play back to his keeper. Again, Real Central fourth in the Delaware River Conference in the American Premier Soccer League. This game does have playoff implications, and a win today for Real Central would put them closer to their goals.
They want to be in the top three, and a win tonight would give them the ability to move that distance as they try to break ahead again.
Looking for a window. Here's a cross to the far side. Saakashvili stripped away. Saakashvili trying to win it back. Still with Lighthouse SC here. And wonderful work down the sideline. Still pressure and a little shove coming from Pierre Busquet.
It looks like he fell down onto the boots of Yunus Hamu. So he might have taken some contact when he was on the run. But yeah, big shove there. And it's Chris Fletcher who made that entire play happen himself and drew the foul too. You cannot ask for anything else out of your left back.
Yeah, this Lighthouse SC team, like you kind of mentioned, Keegan, at the top of our broadcast, they've been very competitive since allowing that early goal, which was one that, Zador had nothing but green grass ahead of him on that one.
Yeah, well, the training staff is coming over to have a little look. Hopefully, nothing too serious.
It definitely was a little bit of a shove, but you got to commend the effort that Gian Maldonado showed on the near touchline. So they'll check on him.
Yeah, it looks like he's standing up on his own power. Seems to be doing okay. He'll be walking around a little bit as well. But that is a very good sign for Lighthouse SC. Again, that's a player who, in a very tight situation with no space in that corner, not conceding a throw or a corner kick, was able to fight his way back forward.
So it looks like he will take a step off the pitch.
Get looked at for a few minutes. Have they brought a sub on yet? It doesn't look like it.
And I beg your pardon, that Maldonado is the one with the ball right now. That may have been Benel Sagar. So we're back up and running here, as Lighthouse SC working with one less body. It's in the 18. Looking for a chance. Real Central converging on the ball. Bodies fall. No call yet.
The official says play on, and that's definitely going to help Real Central. That could have been a penalty. It was in the area for it.
It's back out wide. Working centrally. Trying to work around Yunus Hamu. But does an excellent job winning back possession and turning forward. Ibrahim Voglic. Voglic to his right. Has some space. Plays it out wide. And a nice save made by Omatias Rodriguez. Still with Hamu. Here's a strike. Takes a big deflection. It looks like it will go over the goal line and out for a corner kick here on the near side.
A great opportunity for Real Central. They got a second chance opportunity there, and they're using their numbers to great effect. Once again, really strong play from Ilya Saakashvili. And Yunus Hamu, too, in the midfield, really doing a good job to bring that ball down, keep the pressure alive for Real Central. And they've retrieved the ball, and they're working their way into that corner. So corner kick pending.
And this will be Sean Millelli to send this one in.
That's the captain there.
Yunus Hamu thought about making this a short corner, but they'll send it in. Here's a gliding cross. Takes one bounce. Hamu can't get a shot off. Real Central trying to keep this one alive. And it's stripped away by Lighthouse SC, but taken immediately back.
A couple clear tackles there from Lighthouse. They thought they had it cleared, but the defense starting to get frustrated now by how pesky the attacks have been from Real Central. They're really keeping the pressure up here.
And again, some heavy defense from Andre Justin helps Real Central prevail. Saakashvili on the right side. Sends it across and handled cleanly by Lighthouse SC. There's Christopher Bratz. Lighthouse SC switches fields, and now they'll work on the far side. A nice move to get that pass out wide. Into the attacking third, Lighthouse goes. A possible foul call, but they're going to say a corner kick as the last touched a Real Central defender.
I do believe that might be the first corner of the night, nearly 30 minutes in for Lighthouse SC.
30th minute of action, still 1-0 Real Central. It's been back and forth since that opening strike. In comes the corner, out swinging. Gets through a few, but Real Central ends up clearing.
Not far enough, though, and they're going to have to deal with another one in a moment here.
Lighthouse SC trying to get the ball back into the box. Here's a play inside. And they're going to call that one offside as Dennis Rooney was ready to deal with that one, but the officials will be the ones to step in.
Yeah, I like that play. It was a Delgadier who was up front, and he might have just taken one too many steps ahead of the defense. It was a very tight margin call. I don't envy the linesman who needed to make that call, but stops the attack just in time, and he got back onside before making a play on the ball. So there are two forwards up there for Lighthouse. They had an opportunity that they just let go a little bit too far away.
Real Central coached by Ira Jersey. Lighthouse SC, their gaffer Mohammed Magoob.
Well, Real Central New Jersey being coached by Ira Jersey. That seems quite fitting there, Drosimos.
Keegan, you got the jokes.
I'm just full of them tonight.
Lighthouse SC works out of the back. And a missed touch there.
That was Hamu there. He had the touch. I think he just let the ball go a little too far away from him, and I think he wanted to spring backwards and try to go where his team was there to support him, but I think his brain was moving a little bit quicker than his legs were there. He made a choice, but ultimately the ball just went a little too far away, and now Real Central needs to try to build from the back amidst mounting pressure from Lighthouse.
Andre Justin sends it Dennis Rooney's way. And now we're back on the near side. Saakashvili trying to chase after. And here's Hamu. Out wide for Rooney. Rooney sends a through ball down the left wing. Here's Zador.
Oh,
and he will not be able to do his dance as a call will be made.
Well, that's some classic Route 1 football there, Gerasimos. Just send the ball into an area where there's no one there to get back and defend quick enough. And a little too much speed from the defender. A slight shove from Real Central, from Zador, the one-time goal scorer, the only goal scorer of the match this evening. Just push the defender down and a little too much contact there. But again, I like what Real Central's trying to do. They're trying to exploit the space behind the high line that Lighthouse is setting.
Nice pass down the wing. A quick deflection leaves the ball with Ibrahim Voglic. Here's a pass to Saakashvili, and he's not going to get to it as the checker flag appears.
Again, another one of those opportunities for Real Central where they had the ball, they had the pass, they had the space to go behind. Just a little bit too much on the kick and a little bit too many steps ahead there for Saakashvili.
Lighthouse SC looking to communicate here. Pass in the middle. Now to the left wing. At the top of the 18, an opportunity for Lighthouse. Real Central, though, looking to break out, but not before a trip gives Real Central another free kick. So that one's going to be on Musa Abdelgadir.
Yeah, well, that will be the first time the officials reach into his book today, jotting down some notes. But I honestly, in the buildup, I do like the tackle there. I like the idea to go for it. You know, you're right at the edge of the 18, trying to get the ball back from Real Central, who are bringing numbers centrally to try to swarm and take the ball back. And, you know, the tackle was a little bit too much leg and not enough ball there as he wrapped his leg around the back end. So, again, I like the initial idea to tackle, just a little bit too much wrapping and trying to disrupt the defender and not the ball.
Caution issued in the 35th minute.
Yeah, so Abdelgadir will go into the books. And this ball takes an offline touch, as Real Central will now have a throw-in in a prime area.
Yeah, a little too heavy from the defender Maramin there. He's been a really good left back all day, and now a missed touch for Real Central is going to give it right back. So everything old's new again, Gerasimus.
10 minutes of action left to go in this first half. Wawin Zador with the opening goal to give Real Central their 1-0 lead. A nice move to try to switch fields, but Rooney takes it back.
Rooney's been so subtly effective for Real Central this evening. Again, he's been doing a fantastic job on that left side, and a little too much contact to try to play for that header. Not playing for the ball too much, again, playing the man. And that's a player down for Lighthouse SC. We mentioned earlier that Lighthouse SC needed to get their physicality a little bit more controlled. And, you know, they have had the caution since then, but Real Central started to fight back a little bit using physicality on their own, particularly up on that left side when they've been trying to chase these balls down from deep.
Zador, the one who had the shove on the far side. Real Central has been aggressive on those through ball opportunities, and that's how they got that first goal in the day.
Ultimately, it's been Real Central's strong wing play this afternoon, which is why you've been seeing, I mean, the goal went in earlier because of the build-up there. And on the wings, especially, we got to call out Saakashvili on that near side, who's been just menace whenever he's had the opportunity to get the ball forward. And obviously, Zador, the one-time goal scorer tonight as well.
Still some time to add on to the scoreboard before intermission, and a hit to the face as Sean Millelli goes down. And it looks like this one is going to be on, once again, Musa Abdelgadir.
Oh, I saw that was Gian Maldonado there. That's that big body midfielder who's been running around all night. Might have gotten a little bit too much of a hang on that. But yeah, I saw the hit to the face as well, Gerasimos. I don't see the official looking for anything else there.
Real Central will play short. Justin to Sotak. Sotak to the middle. Here's Voguch. Plays it up the middle. Still at the top of the 18, and a big-time clearance from Omatinis Rodriguez.
Overhead kick there from the Real Central defense. Doesn't clear far enough. They're grasping for answers right now.
Lots of space. Or at least initially for Lighthouse SC. Now play out wide. Looking to create something. The cross blocked by Rooney. And so there will be a throw-in on the far corner.
Well, this is the first real right-sided attack we've seen from Lighthouse this evening, and really fancy footwork on that far end. Great step overs to keep with the ball as well, a soft touch. Really well defended there by Real Central. Rooney coming back down to do his job.
Here's a cross. One white kid in there, but no shot on goal. Still with Lighthouse SC.
Real Central has all their numbers back, but any clearance they have might be going into enemy territory.
And here's a nice pass down the left side of the 6-yard box, but out of the reach of any shot opportunity. So Kevin Perez will collect, and we'll go the other way.
Yeah, it didn't look like Lighthouse SC really wanted to chase that one down. I mean, again, it was a good run from Gian Maldonado, but he just didn't feel like he was ready to chase that one the way that the other attacker tried to set him up for.
Here's a long ball toward Voglich. As it goes over the touchline in front of Real Central's bench.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes of action left, Rosmos, before it's halftime. Real Central, if they keep defending like this, they'll be able to hold that lead.
And a nice development here for Lighthouse SC, an opportunity on the right side, still with it. Working through traffic. But it's knocked out for now, and then a hit to the face is going to result in a free kick in quite the territory for Lighthouse SC.
They have quite a few takers who could make this dangerous as well. Again, another one of those opportunities where Real Central, and they had it. They had the ball won, and they just got a little bit too physical on the chase. I think Real Central's lucky to escape a card here as well.
So in the span of 2 minutes, we've seen 2 hits to the face.
One for each team.
41st minute. A huge opportunity for Lighthouse SC to possibly equalize. If they can play their cards right here on this free kick opportunity.
2 players on the ball too, so some trickery is possible as well.
Here comes the cross. They'll go with the left footer. Shot goes just wide right. And so no cross made. Instead, they go for goal. But unsuccessful.
Well, from that distance, I don't disagree with the decision to go goal. However, it was a little bit too near. I think they had a little too much curl on that ball, which sent it on the outside of the post. I think they were maybe trying to aim it so it would pop into that top left corner. But Kevin Perez had that well handled for Real Central, but he wasn't even needed on that. Opportunity squandered by Lighthouse SC as they were looking to equalize Gerasimos.
Perez's kick goes to Voglich. Saakashvili, no call there.
I think he was expecting a call there, but didn't get one, and now Real Central an opportunity to pressure even further.
The ball somehow rolls into the grasp of Rodriguez.
It was a solid defensive unit there. Good effort from Lighthouse SC. Again, they let the ball roll over because they knew that Rodriguez would be there to grab it. And they just kept their line solid, played advantage on each of the men that they were marking. Some players had 2-on-1 there. None of them were going to chase that ball down.
And here's a nice through ball down the left wing. Lighthouse SC enters the attacking third. A quick move, now a pass inside. A body falls, still with Lighthouse SC, a block at the top of the 18. Looks like Real Central gets out of another one.
Well, for about 10 seconds in that sequence, both sides were appealing for some foul. I saw a player go down in the box. It didn't look like there was much in that, and eventually it was some escape velocity from Hamu that drew an arm of a Lighthouse SC player, gave them a free kick, and another opportunity to defend goes very well for the team in red. I think they're going to go deeper. They might want to put one more on the board here, Gerasimos. 2-0 lead going into halftime sounds like a pretty good deal for Real Central.
Well, they got 2 minutes to do it. Headed back. And here's a pass out wide. Cleared out as Zador was in the area.
It was a great tackle from Dennis for Lighthouse SC to kick that one wide. Again, that's a Zador on the ball who, when he's on the ball, he can score. We've seen him do it this evening.
Here's a throw from the nearest corner from Pierre Busquet. It goes to Milali, now back to Busquet. Busquets, as it's tipped away from him, we'll have to transition.
Maybe not.
Taken back by Hamu. Has space. Sends it Zador's way. It was with Voglich for a moment.
Well, Lighthouse SC, they had the numbers back in that sequence, but when they got the clearance, it was all Real Central.
And Lighthouse SC maybe with one more chance. As it was off the heel of Christopher Bratz.
Yeah, Delgadier chasing this one down. He's looking to make good. He already is in the officials' book tonight, the single yellow card of the game, and he really would like to put a goal back behind, put his team level. Looks like Real Central's just going to play time.
Just a few seconds remaining in this first half of action.
And we've passed regulation, so a little bit of added time on Drosimos.
Here's the long switch. Zador has it with space. Looking to go forward, but dealt with cleanly on the near side.
Lighthouse SC doing a really good job working through their levels right now. Again, the slicing through passes, giving them plenty of opportunities to try to trick out the defense.
We play on here. We're past 45 in the first half.
No indication how much extra time we'll be having in this period, but if you're Lighthouse SC, you have to imagine it's not many. You want to try and get a goal, and you want to try and get it now.
And a takeaway from Pierre Busquets, and now here comes Real Central. Maybe one more chance. Goldberg with heavy pressure. Leaves it for Zador. Zador, quick pass inside. Hamu. Switches fields. Here's Voglich. Voglich has space. Takes a shot as it takes a big deflection. It's going to go out near the corner. Possibly another chance for Real Central now. There were some injuries here and there in the first half, so no surprise to see some minutes tacked on.
Yeah, a couple players going down, too. Real Central needs to make the most of this.
Zador, low cross, cleared over the goal line.
Corner kick.
So now, yeah, a corner kick for Real Central, and we'll see if this is the last action of the first half.
This time Hamu's going over to take this one. Last time it was Maleli.
Yes, so here's Hamu. Ball slightly off the line.
Fix it up right quick. Good eye by the official.
Here's the cross inside, a shot attempt. Here's another one on the left corner. Nice save by Rodriguez. The shot was from Busquets, still with Real Central. Hamu with an off touch. And that's
the end of the first half.
That's how our
it looks
first
like.
half's going to conclude.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
There it is.
halftime score.
Well, Real Central knocking on the door at the end of things here.
Lighthouse 18-19.
And they had a couple opportunities. That corner was really nice, landed right where it needed to. Busquets had a shot on goal. He was initially trying to go for some kind of scorpion kick to try to put it on in the initial grab. But for him, he ended up having to go for a lower one. Getting down quick enough, Rodriguez keeps it only a 1-0 lead for Real Central as we head into a couple minutes of halftime.
So 1-0 the score here in this American Premier Soccer League match between Real Central New Jersey and Lighthouse SC. The goal scorer today, Wowins Zador. So that will do it for our first half. We'll be right back here on our broadcast. Gerasmus Gervasilio alongside Keegan Thompson, and we'll see you in just a tad over 10 minutes. New Jersey taking on Lighthouse 1893 SC. Real Central leads 1-0 in this American Premier Soccer League match. I'm Gerasimus Gervasilio alongside Keegan Thompson here on the broadcast. And Keegan, what did you like from Real Central in that first half?
Oh, I liked quite a few things, actually. They did a really good job using their wings up front to attack. Walwin Zador, one of the main ones, he's been phenomenal today. He scored the lone goal of the match early on, about the 14 or 15-minute mark of the game. The other thing is that Walwin Zador is actually on the bench now. He was subbed off at halftime. Actually, a whole host of subs for Real Central, 4 for them. So 4 players making their exits: Dennis Rooney, Zador, Andre Justin on the defensive end, as well as Eric Goldberg. And in for them, Nathan Linden, Giuseppe Pierleonardi, Matt Foxworth, as well as Eric Karchapula.
So you mentioned the substitution, some fresh legs for Real Central as they try to hold on to this lead, and they desperately need it considering the goals they have past this game.
Well, yeah, Dross, other than the wing play, I really like how as Lighthouse SC started to get more physical, Real Central answered, and they started becoming more physical on their own right. They gave up a couple of fouls, but they gave them up in better positions, minus that one free kick at the edge of the 18 that they gave up too. But again, this is a Lighthouse SC team that's tall, they're very stout, they're very strong in the midfield. And Real Central, they've been doing a good job using the Route 1 football, kicking the ball as far as they can to get downfield and using their wingers to chase it. That's classic Route 1 football, and it really disturbed the back line of Lighthouse as well as the goalkeeper Rodriguez.
So the first few touches we've seen from Eric Karchapula.
Look, they're doing it again.
And there is that through ball. On the attack is Real Central. A nice tackle, though, to clear it out. And so we'll have a corner on the far side.
A phenomenal tackle. Very well timed. Got all ball there. Player down for Real Central. I mean, again, that's just a consequence of how fast he was moving. He couldn't quite pull up from that dive. But he's okay. He's up and moving now. So it will be a corner kick for Real Central.
It looks to be Yomis Hamun. Here's a quick 1-2 on the far side. Hamu tried to spin with it, but
Showing
it's
some
tapped
frustration
away.
too.
Oh, he knows that could have been something big, but here comes Lighthouse SC, a 2-on-2 for now a 3-on-3.
Testing Nathan Linden for the first time.
And Real Central, phenomenal job by this squad to transition back defensively.
Great positioning there. Again, that's just the speed of Real Central. They can get back in a matter of moments. Lighthouse had the break. They had the opportunity to move ahead, and they're trying to do the same thing here.
Here's a through ball so far onside. A shot, save made by Kevin Perez. Still on the attack is Lighthouse SC. It'll be cleared out, but a very key opportunity on the volley. But Perez using his legs.
Yeah, Perez got down real low, kicked that ball up as high now as he could, and it gave a lot of space to Giuseppe Pierleonardi to fight and keep the ball out. Opportunity here for Lighthouse on the restart, but again, it seems like Real Central's really starting to mesh a bit.
Here's a cross inside. Still with Lighthouse SC, trying to keep it alive. And a big push on Eric Karchapula. So already drawing fouls in this one since entering for the second half.
And that's the second yellow card of the night. Both of them shown to Lighthouse. First one was given to Adel Gadir early on in the game, the lone center forward there. And this one's Marquinhos Gomez. Never mind, the initial indication is for Gomez, but waiting to hear from the head official who received that second yellow.
In the meantime, Sotak set to take this free kick. So right at midfield on the far side, they'll give a throw to Lighthouse SC, or they will give it to Lighthouse SC. Now here's a far throw down the line. Defending that play, Max Foxworth, one of the new substitutions.
Yeah, all the substitutions for Real Central have gotten involved pretty quickly. Linden and that initial sequence by Lighthouse SC did a good job pushing the ball away. Pierre Leonardi with that clearance in the box. And Foxworth and Karchipula doing a good job as well.
An opportunity, a volley goes left, and they're going to say a penalty. Kevin Perez is shown the yellow card, and this is the opportunity of the match for Lighthouse SC.
Well, he made the contact on the ball, but again, he couldn't quite control himself in that situation. And player down, he's in quite a lot of pain. But again, it saved a goal, and he has an opportunity to possibly save the penalty as well, Gerasimos. But again, I mean, that's decisive goalkeeping. Sometimes you need to give those up in order to keep it 1-0 for a moment.
So penalty now about to be taken. Kevin Perez already trying to play some mind games, showing his gloves and on his toes.
That's what you need to do as a keeper. You need to try to disrupt your opponent in any opportunity. Again, the advantage is always with the player taking the penalty.
Takes a few steps back.
Telling
Goes
him
to
kick
his
as hard
left.
as he can.
Stutter steps, strikes, scores! And Lighthouse SC, just like that, have found their equalizer in this match.
Well, make it 1-1, and they were trailing for a good portion of the game so far. Fought their way back in, took a hard hit down low. And that is a goal going their way, so they have something to come home with. Currently, the things stand as a draw. But Real Central scored before. They might be able to do it again. Just some time left over. And that's a great way to start the half for Lighthouse SC. It's been their game so far. Not too many opportunities going the other way.
You know, Real Central has been quiet since that first goal early on.
A caution was issued to Real Central, New Jersey.
And now players down for Lighthouse
Number 1,
SC.
Kevin Perez. Caution issued in the 51st minute. Lighthouse 1893 goal. Score on the penalty kick. By
So
number
players
14.
down,
Telling
goes
him
to
kick
his
as hard
left.
as he can.
Stutter steps, strikes, scores! And Lighthouse SC, just like have word on who the goal scorer is for Lighthouse SC, as it was Amar Abdelrazik. The player's still down.
Yeah, it looks like a hurt leg again. I only saw a shove. Maybe he took a tough step on his inside foot or something, but the training staff came over to look at him and are now walking their way back to the sideline. He's not even up on his feet just yet.
This has been quite the physical game, Keegan. I mean, on both ends, we've seen some players on both ends, both in red and in white, on the ground.
Yeah,
in the first half.
Great physicality. I mean, Lighthouse got it started. Real Central pushed back against it.
Number 27, Marco Santos. The caution was issued back in the 50th minute.
So it looks like everything seems to be resolved.
All right. Well, that will be Lighthouse looking to build from their own back end after a good stoppage. So expect a little bit of time added on at the end here. After what will be a much longer second half.
Yeah, we had a lot of stoppage time at the end of the first half because, again, a physical match means probably some extra time where you have players on the ground trying to pick themselves back up. And right now we are 10 minutes into this second half, and so far Lighthouse SC, the ones taking advantage out of the intermission. So here's Real Central. Lovely plays it wide. In the attacking third is Real Central. Voglich, a 1-2 down the right side. Here's a cross into the middle, and it'll be tapped over the goal line and out for corner on the far side.
That was a really good movement. Again, great combination there for Saakashvili. And he's combining alongside Voglich. Voglich, a very unselfish center forward. He really likes to pass when he gets to that 18-yard line.
A quick corner from Real Central. Scorpion attempts. Voglich bicycle attempt. And it will go calmly into the gloves of Omatias Rodriguez. Lots of ambitious attempts. We saw a scorpion and a bicycle back to Matt Keegan.
Yes, it seems like Real Central's looking for the highlight reel moment. Sometimes you need a little bit of that extra oomph to get the ball past the goalkeeper to the degree of Rodriguez, who's been so good tonight ever since letting that first one in. But, I mean, we even saw it towards the end of the first half when we saw that corner kick come in for Busquets. He tried to go for one of those crazy scorpion bicycle kick hybrids as well. But it seems to me that Real Central, again, just they need to go back to basics here. The Route 1 football is working. They're breaking the defense down. They're really calling Lighthouse out at setting that high defensive line. And I think they just need to put something simple on net.
That's by far their best opportunity. And you kind of said it there. I mean, you had some space, maybe bring down the ball, but you know, sometimes you want to be ambitious, and that's what Real Central was going for in that previous possession, or that previous opportunity, I should say, rather. But now we're approaching the 58th minute.
Sotak, by the way, who went for the initial scorpion kick, is a center back, so he's definitely looking for one of those highlight moments. When you get into the attacking third, much less the 18-yard box, as a center back, you want to do whatever you can to score there.
Here's a nice ball played down the right wing. Lighthouse SC in transition.
That's Fletcher, the
Scissor
fullback.
move. Shot off the left foot, deflected. Still in the danger zone. A volley. Miscalculated. And so we'll go over the far touchline, and it seems as though Lighthouse SC will remain with possession.
Well, it was Pierre Leonardi who initially got that started. Again, that was a really strong move in from Chris Fletcher on that right side. Pierre Leonardi was able to clear it around, and a lot of help from Pierre Busquets to push the ball out further. And now another card being brandished towards a Real Central player, and the count is 2 yellow cards for each side.
The book is filling up, as there's been a lot of cautions throughout this match, a lot early on in this second half. And we believe that it will be Jonas Hamu, the one entering the book.
Yeah, Hamu's been really solid in that defensive role that he's been adopting this evening. But again, you know, you got to keep your hands to yourself sometimes.
So a long free kick, a two-man wall for Real Central. In swing and cross, Kevin Perez unable to get to it, but the header goes wide left.
Well done there by Kevin Perez. He's an undersized goalkeeper as well, so he's able to get his hand up and disrupt that a little bit too. It was a really good play, and it was off the head initially of Adel Gadir.
Caution issued back in the 58th minute.
It's another situation where Chris Perez really had to be very careful trying to contact the ball on that header.
We have some substitutions upcoming for Real Central, as with Kevin Perez with the ball. I believe the substitutions were supposed to come on right then and there, but Perez decides to play. Voglich, through ball down the right side. Real Central looking to get into business. Another one. On the right side of the box, crossing to the middle, Voglich couldn't keep it on that right foot, still in the box. Volley attempt, scores! Saakashvili puts Real Central back in front. It's 2-1 here in the 60th minute.
Excellent play from the three players up front. Ibrahim Voglich with that ball, he grabbed it in the midfield, sent it all the way down that right wing where Yunus Hamu was waiting, and he took it with a lot of speed. Saakashvili was there as well, getting involved, and then just centralizing, realizing, okay, I don't quite have the angle. When Ibrahim Voglich grabbed the ball, doesn't have the angle, he's going to pass it backwards, and it's going to be beautiful delivery right at the end there. So Hamu gets the job done for Real Central. Fantastic play from Voglich as we have the subs coming on.
Yeah, Voglich was able to keep it into the area.
Again, an unselfish center forward. That's hard to come
On
by.
the right side of the box, crossing to the middle, Voglich couldn't keep it on that right foot. Still in the box. Volley attempt. Scores! Saakashvili. Hamu will exit. And entering is Filippo Diana, who will now take the reins in the attack.
Looks like he's going to be playing on that left side there. I think he'll be combining with Voglich. They might be going for a two-striker formation here. But yeah, the lead has been restored for Real Central.
Real Central, New Jersey.
Lighthouse SC responded once. We will see if they can respond twice.
Scored by number 15, Ilya Saakashvili.
And bodies go flying.
Yeah, very late hit there. I think one of the Lighthouse SC players was going down, stuck his leg up a little too high, and
In addition,
Real Central made a meal of it. Cole Sotak was the player affected on the Real Central end. I think he drew a foul, so they'll be going back the other way in favor of Real Central.
And number 7, Filippo Diana. They replaced number 10, Yunus Hamu, and number 15, Ilya Saakashvili.
It's a completely different look front line there off those substitutions.
So Saakashvili off the goal gets rewarded with a break.
Hamu as well was instrumental in making that play happen.
Hamu has taken the reins a lot in much of Real Central's attack. And now they will be without them for the remainder of this match now as we are in the 63rd minute. Still lots of time for Lighthouse SC to find a second equalizer.
Well, yeah, and it only took them about 5 minutes to earn that penalty at the start of the second half. So they have quite a few tricks up front. Now, you also got to keep in mind that they have really been coming down the field and have had, I think, a fair few more opportunities than Real Central has in their own attacking third, and definitely had more touches in the box so far tonight. So I don't know. This could be something. And I feel like their set piece play has been very strong as well.
It will be a Real Central throw now.
The fresh legs really showing their energy, especially on that far side.
Played to the other end. Kept alive by Carchipola.
It was a good tackle from Pierre Leonardi. I'm unsure whether he won the ball back or not. It seems like he did and earned a foul. The official saw something there that I might have missed.
Yeah, Pierre Leonardi wanted to play that one on.
Maybe he converted it. Maybe he was falling down after a shove and converted that into a tackle. Either way, it worked out for Real Central.
Here's a play towards Filippo Diana.
Welcome to the game, Diana.
And here's a nice through ball down the right wing. An opportunity, a quick shot, and quick hands by Kevin Perez.
That's a smart play if you're a goalkeeper there, Drosmos. Again, realized he couldn't make the initial save, didn't want to splay himself all the way out for it in case of a follow-up, so he just tapped it, slowed the roll down. He had enough time to pounce on top of it and spur his team back onto the offensive end. Yeah, ball touched the official. It'll be a drop ball.
A nice quick call by you, Keegan.
The official made it quicker.
Are you wearing green under that jacket?
It doesn't look like it.
Real Central Trying to play it down the line, but it will go over the touch line for a Lighthouse SC throw.
Dressels, how colorblind are you?
Real Central with a throw.
It's a blue shirt.
I feel like you're hiding something. That's all I'm saying.
It's a blue shirt. It's a nice one. It's a cold night.
Attack falters there for Real Central.
See, he's wearing green, Drosmos. Rodriguez are for Lighthouse.
Actually, that's like a highlighter green.
It's green. Well, since those subs have come on for Real Central, Lighthouse has been playing in their own defending third. Really trying to get anything going there. And they've been kind of adopting that long ball in the near side wing as well.
Brought down by Malelli. Diana. Carchapola. And two bodies go down. I think knee-to-knee contact. We play on.
Two plays down. The official.
And now the official will put things to a halt.
Yeah, playing advantage there for both teams. It looks like it was mutually assured contact there. So, again, just a coming together. I don't think there's all that much in that. When play resumes, Real Central will start with the ball. That's Nathan Linden, who I think will be taking the free kick when play resumes.
Yeah, again, that just seemed, like he said, mutual contact there and knee-to-knee effort. That can't feel nice.
I do appreciate the call. Again, that's a tough call from the official. You see two players go down. You know, you don't know exactly what to make of it. I think he had a good view of what happened, and he just wanted to spur the game on. Said, okay, you know, the game is moving away from these players. There's no chance that they'll get hurt further. You know, we can let this play on, but once the play started heading back that way, they had to call it and get a good restart going in for Real Central, who had possession when play was stopped initially. And now it's Lighthouse using their wing play to try to work their way back in.
Beautiful evening here at Mercer County Community College.
Yeah, the lights have come on not long ago and really illuminating the features of this game. It's a chilly evening. It hasn't been the warmest of afternoons, but a slight breeze there on top of this certainly colder weather than we had earlier.
Lighthouse trying to develop a successful sequence. Heel pass backward. And a lot of backspin on that pass, but two bodies go down again.
Someone's
and
reaching
a
into the
card is
book.
out.
Seems like it.
And it's going to be on the Lighthouse SC defender. And
that's
that's
a
his
second yellow.
second.
So that's Adelgadir. Second yellow card this evening, which is a red, so he will be ejected from the match.
So if that caution holds, that is a game changer for Real Central. As Lighthouse SC will go down to 10 men in a match they're trying to recover.
And you know, the numbers this whole game that's been the important thing. Whenever the ball's been coming in centrally for either team on the defensive end, they've been doing a good job of bringing numbers around and really putting on the pressure for whoever's attacking. One fewer number in that group is going to give a lot of space to Real Central.
Lighthouse 1893 SC. Number 9, Musa Abdelgadir.
So it is Abdelgadir, and he did have a caution earlier in the first half.
69th minute.
And so his second means 11 v 10 in favor of Real Central. Kevin Perez tells his squad to move forward.
He's going to put everything he has behind this one.
A glider past midfield. Diana can't bring it down, and here comes Lighthouse SC, a decent opportunity, but handled well.
That was a fantastic turn out there by Foxworth. Uses his speed to get back quickly. Nice turn on the ball. Doesn't try to volley it. Doesn't try to kick it back to his goaltender. He said, I'll bring this down. I'll turn it right back around in one swift motion. You can see why he's been subbed on. And get some fresh legs from him as well.
We're now past the 70th minute. Ball still near the center circle. A nice touch there, but a miscommunication on the pass. Now here comes Real Central. Diana was looking for Voglich. Voglich chases after it, but it's back with Lighthouse.
Lighthouse trying to pick up the pieces here. And it seems like playing on the counterattack might be their best option, Drosmos. It's been working all half so far. It's what ultimately allowed them to get that set piece earlier that resulted in their penalty that they took and scored. By this man.
Pass toward the middle. Still a few yards atop the 18. And intercepted by Real Central. Voglich trying to escape two defenders, and he won't escape them, but he will draw the foul.
Yeah, very sustained contact too as Voglich tried to switch and bring it back around to the far side. Again, he's one of those players who's fantastic on the ball. You can see why Real Central plays him up front. He has the attributes of a center forward, but he also likes to play deeper and enable the offense too. They play very well through him.
Milele plays it short. Has space to work with. Now to the near side, Giuseppe Pierleonardi. Chip pass backward. Milele.
Lots of communication from the back four of Real Central. Real Central in general has been talking to each other very well out there. It seems like they've been on the same game plan for the past 30 minutes or so.
And Fredericks got out of a little bit of a jam near the touchline. It's all the way back with Perez.
Decisive goalkeeping there and a great pass afterwards as well.
Pierleonardi with a nice touch to bring it down. Carchipola. Pierleonardi couldn't get to it, but what we assumed was a Real Central throw has turned into a Lighthouse throw.
Well, the ball goes into a sea of red.
By Sotak.
It was Marquinhos Gomez who was waiting for the ball to land at his feet, but again, just a little bit of an errant pass, and Real Central doesn't need to try too hard to keep possession here.
Through ball attempt denied.
Now, granted, he was the one who gave up the penalty there as he went to try to make an aggressive tackle towards the ball, ended up taking down the defender. And he was shown a yellow for his troubles and had to attempt to save a penalty. Nothing doing from him. But it wasn't much longer before Real Central took the lead right back with a goal from Sakashvili, who was subbed off right after.
A driven pass to the near side. Carchipola. And back with Sotak. Real Central, knowing they have the lead, playing possession.
That's going to be tough to break. And you got to keep in mind, Lighthouse SC, they've been running all game from whistle to whistle. So some of those players, especially the ones up front, they have to be feeling the effects of that in their legs.
Still at the far touchline. Voglich trying the track back, still with Real Central as it's recovered. Karchapola on the left wing, trying to use his physicality to keep this play alive, and well done by Lighthouse SC to force it wide.
Yeah, Karchapola did a really good job there. He just got walled out by the really stout back line of Lighthouse SC, and it seems like we'll be expecting a Real Central New Jersey substitution. And it's Voglich who'll be making his exit.
Substitution for Real Central New Jersey in the 76th
An arrest well earned by Voglich, who had the nice pass to Sakachvili.
Ruby Dorival.
And for Real Central,
Replacing number 9, Ibrahim Voglich.
the new player entering for Real Central, Ruby Dorival.
Yeah, Dorival, also another defensive player entering the field for Real Central.
As
So,
it's cleared
again,
away.
It's apparent to me that head coach Era Jersey recognizes that they have a game to win here, and they want to put as many defensive players on the pitch as possible.
It's with Lighthouse's back four. A long pass. Got to wonder if this is onside, and the official on the near touchline says yes, it is. Real Central plays quickly. Lots of space for Pierre Leonardi.
Ever since that second yellow was brandished and Real Central has a player advantage, Gerasimus, you see that gap ahead of the Real Central midfield, and their back line is seemingly opened up. They've been really able to work between the levels.
Pierre Leonardi trying to keep the ball near that corner. The SSC does a good job breaking out. 79th minute, 2-1 your score. Real Central ahead in this one against Lighthouse, 1893 SC. In the American Premier Soccer League. We thank you for tuning into tonight's broadcast. Gerasimus Gervasilio with Keegan Thompson.
Playoff indications here for Real Central. They're currently 4th in the conference. Win here would really bolster their playoff effort as they try to make one last push as we go down to the end of the season.
Ruby Dorival with his first bit of action there. As it's taken back and intercepted by Lighthouse SC. But a job well done again. Every opportunity, every chance that Lighthouse seems to have is quickly denied by Real Central, it seems, at any given moment.
Real Central, again, they have a lot of players committed to the defensive end. They have the back four, yes, but they have a couple of central defensive midfielders as well, playing between the gaps and not allowing any of the forwards from Lighthouse SC any space to try to break through. And the opportunities, when they come by for Real Central, for Lighthouse SC, they've had space to move through, and just Real Central plugs it up way too quickly.
Well, we'll see if they can do it again here. A nice pass to top the 18, a chance on the volley, but it's skied over the fence.
Well, that almost made its way over to, I believe those are greenhouses over there. But yeah, that's a deep clearance as that one goes well into the sky and off the pitch.
They got to get a new ball. So Kevin Perez will take his time on this one as we're now in the 81st minute. Again, the 2 goals for Real Central today. The first one coming from Waman Zador. The second one coming from the likes of Ilya Sakashvili. And then the lone goal scorer for Lighthouse SC was on the penalty by Amar Abdelrazek.
Yeah, it was a very clean take as well. He put as much force behind that. It was a bottom right corner placement too. And Lighthouse SC really trying to put some pressure on that back line for Real Central, but there's just too many players for them back there. And they are currently down to 10 men. Trying to get anything going here. Real Central has an opportunity.
A nice one, too. Here's a shot from distance. And it was a threatening one, but Omatias Rodriguez with a sigh of relief.
Yeah, it wasn't on target, so it'll be a goal kick. He was in a good position just in case it wasn't. He was able to make that save well ahead of that opportunity. And again, it's the wing play again for Real Central.
Christopher Bratz's day is done for Lighthouse SC, as he'll sub off. Some fresh legs coming in for Lighthouse. Ahmad Gossi, the one entering. And here comes Lighthouse, as it's cleared over the touchline, and on that clearance attempt, Cole Sotak hobbling a little bit.
I'd be hobbling too after I ran that hard and that fast. Came in from much further ahead on the field. Just sprinted his way in.
It's with Lighthouse's back four once more. Time in favor of Real Central.
Scoreline as well.
But here's a nice switch. A chance inside the 6. A shot deflected by Kevin Perez. Another phenomenal save.
He's been decisive all evening as well, Gerasimos. He comes right out of his goal, cuts the angle down very well, and he's been doing excellent on those low-taken shots. Just dropping to the ground, making himself a bigger presence, and clearing that one. And again, it was a tough thing to save from that back line. It was knotted backwards. I think they're expecting Kevin Perez to be a little bit closer there, but some really tough speed from the outside to deal with. Gives a shot on target for Lighthouse SC. Scoreline as well.
And Lighthouse, even though
Here's a nice switch.
10 men, a chance inside the 6. A shot deflected by Kevin Perez to Abdelgadir. They've had their chances. Kevin Perez has spoiled each and every one of them.
Great patience there from Dorival. And he seems like a good answer at this point in the game. A lot of long balls have been sent down by Lighthouse.
An illegal throw. You don't see that often. Coming from the newest substitution for Real Central, Ruby Dorival.
Yeah, forgot to drag the foot. Lifted his back leg up on the throw, and that means it'll be a reversal. So Lighthouse SC starts with possession.
85th minute, 5 to go till stoppage time, and considering some of the injuries, including the cautions we've seen, some time to be added, and no call on that one.
Some of the players from Lighthouse SC on the pitch were a little irate at that one, but they're going to double their efforts to try to get this one back.
And Keegan, like you said earlier on the broadcast, Dorval just kicking it ahead and keeping it in the attacking third, no matter the cost, even if there's not a target.
Yeah, and again, you know, this is a very condensed defensive formation that Real Central has adopted in these past couple of minutes, ever since they've gone up a player and up in the score. There's a handball coming in, so I think the one thing they need to avoid is situations like this where they're giving up free kicks in dangerous territory. This one was at the halfway line, so nothing too worrisome here. But again, the great equalizer in situations like this when you're against a team who's down a player is if you go to a set piece. And you got to mention as well, Real Central has done a very good job of limiting the corners for Lighthouse SC this game.
A nice collection of passes here from Lighthouse. Now a switch of fields. Still time left, and they've had some decent opportunities as of late. A scissor move centrally. Doesn't have the window yet. Now some space on the right wing. Another cross, glides in, Perez punches it out. Still in the 18, another shot, rolls kindly to Perez.
Yeah, again, Perez being very decisive there, drops down, makes the grab. Most people would expect him to let that one roll out of play there, but it took a deflection off a Real Central center back. So it would have been a corner kick. And again, really good job to avoid the set piece.
Lots of space for Real Central here on that far side. Carchapola with a through ball attempt. And well shielded by a Lighthouse defender. It'll be a goal kick for Rodriguez and company. 87th minute, 2-1, Real Central, New Jersey.
Lots of open space on that right wing for Lighthouse SC. Real Central condensing to where the ball is going to be, not where it might be in a play or two.
Lighthouse again on the attack. As Real Central try to shut the door on this one, and now a foul call. And we have
Diana.
seen it is on Filippo Diana, and we've seen the official not afraid to hand out cards to either side in this match.
Yeah, and so there were some tensions in the first half as well. They started to hit a boiling point after we came out from halftime. So quite a few yellow cards in the second half alone. And again, that's how you keep the peace to the best of yourself here. But again, and now we have an opportunity for a set piece where 10 men Lighthouse has an opportunity.
Here's a free kick, glided in, headed back by Max Foxworth. Real Central keeping possession on the far side, and the clearance attempt not strong enough. Lighthouse, though, squanders the opportunity.
Clearance wasn't strong enough, but the follow-up was a little too strong. Rolls out the back end. Goal kick for Real Central New Jersey. As regular time is about to end, we're in the 89th minute, closing down on a chance here for Real Central to close this one out.
And again, we've seen them kind of become more defensive. They'll hold on to this 2-1 lead and keep in possession. Here's another play to Diana. Body goes down, and it's enough for a call to be made against Filippo Diana.
Official has to stop things here. Again, a player down a little too much. Diano did a good job of bringing the ball down. It was a good touch. It looks like Lighthouse is going to play on in spite of having a player down. So make that a 9-on-11 right now.
And that cross, you can make a pass to Perez. As we're now approaching the 90th minute, Perez will pick it up and waste as much clock as he can as we wait to see how long the officials let this one go.
Well, expect quite a bit of stoppage time at the end of this one. A couple players hit the deck a few times this game. Again, it has been aggressive. Lots of players using their physicality to their advantage, and there's some bumps and bruises along the way.
And Chris Fletcher of Lighthouse trying to play quickly as from that fullback area. Lots of communication in front of us here.
Your attention, please. The officials have indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time in the second half.
And so now, our phenomenal PA announcer, Matt Nelson, announcing 4 minutes of stoppage time.
That's a little bit fewer than I would have expected, Gerasimos.
So now the ball enters the 18 for Lighthouse. 2 bodies go down. No penalty, as Lighthouse has scored just from the spot today. Now a corner kick.
It was a great
from the near side.
Great stretch from them down the right wing. Again, these scintillating passes, they've been going back and forth, using the right wing to great effect. They get into the box, and I think a little bit of a touch comes in from Cole Sotak. He puts the ball out the back end. I think the follow-up there was what the away team called into question, as this one's taken short.
An opportunity to cross it. Change of direction, a shot with the right foot. Goes to the middle, and Kevin Perez dives to his right to collect.
Yeah, puts his body on top of that one. Really strong play from him all night. Decisive goalkeeping. And again, I like that opportunity from Lighthouse. They try to send that one across the face just in case one of their players could have gotten there quick enough.
Still at Lighthouse on the far side. Approaching the attacking third. Probably a minute and a half gone so far in stoppage time. Ball is cleared to the opposite side of the pitch. Now we're on the near side as Lighthouse heads near the near corner. Body goes down, and it's enough for Lighthouse to be awarded a free kick in quite the area, and you could almost consider it a close corner.
You could. You need to put a little bit more curl on it, too. The difference here is that Real Central can be a little bit closer. They can form a wall a little bit tighter on because of this free kick. They have to back up just a hair there. The official's telling them not to go much further.
Real Central going with a 2-man wall. They're protecting that near post. Lighthouse has a man near that near post. Now he'll step behind the line. Here's the in-swinging cross. Goes to the back corner, just wide of the netting.
Oh, my word, that just glanced. That might have been a foot away from that top left post.
A very valiant opportunity.
Stoppage time starting to wane now as Real Central's looking to get a restart here. I think they're just going to try and send this one out as far as they can. And we know Perez has the leg to do so.
And the bench of Lighthouse furious that Kevin Perez took so much time to clear this one out. Now here's Real Central, a through ball down the right wing. It's with Dayana. Dayana's going to look to bring it to the corner and waste some clock. Plays a quick pass toward the 18, and it's back with Lighthouse. Clock is ticking. And an interception for Torival. Now Carchapola out wide for Pierre Leonardi, keeping it in that corner as it's poked free. Stepping to it is Malelli. Malelli with a chance, has space, cuts to his left, he's tripped. Play is continued.
Fair tackle, great poke by the defender.
And now Lighthouse with maybe one last opportunity